How's it going, everybody? It's Circuit. Welcome back to Circuit's Mailbox. I'm obviously too late because dare I try to do something consistently with a stream schedule, and now here we are, probably like a whole week late. Sorry guys, I got very busy. I ended up making a company called RoboCow Incorporated. Why? I don't know. It's kind of funny. Anyways, today we're going to be talking about something a little bit interesting. We got a mail. We got mail. Actually, a lot of people got a lot of mail sent in, which again, I appreciate every single one that actually sent in something. So let's go through the first one. This one is actually from Chris. If you guys watch my stream, he's a very active member and he's been giving a lot of money. What the fuck? But yeah, let's talk about it. So Chris said, "Hi, it's me, cool Chris. You've probably seen." That you're probably seeing on your streams on TikTok or Christian, whatever you want to choose. But about your video, I was going to comment on this video, but I felt it was a bit personal, as I actually do have some questions. For starters, I'd be lying if I said I didn't start tearing up as I listened to your advice in such of your videos, and I'm not trying to trauma dump or anything, hopefully. This isn't, but if it is, my apologies. Don't worry about it. For serious topics and life things in general, I kind of haven't found anyone to talk about it, and if I do, I always end up going into a joke and not taken seriously. Which, to be honest, I don't mind. Dark humor is my shit. And I always have a terrible... That's my rice cooker, I apologize. You done, rice cooker? Give it a second. There you go. Alright, let's continue. Which, to be honest, I don't mind. Dark humor is my shit. I also have a terrible habit of, and coping mechanism of, it is what it is, or fuck it, we ball. Mindset, lol. But as I listened to your video, it just ignited the topics of life lessons and deep conversations in me, and how seriously it truly is. Your advice is extremely helpful and it just really changes the perception of people's lives and the people around you in such a brighter way that it's blinding. Your words, actions, streams, life stories, and literally everything about you helped me a lot, to the point where it's giving me a boost of confidence in myself, despite only finding you like a month or two prior. That I've been able to actually talk about stuff like this, to my friends. Hell, I recently came out to a friend that I'm bisexual, and she was really supportive of me. As for other topics, however, when the time is right, hopefully, I'll have the courage to talk to a friend or family about it someday when I need help. Before we continue, Chris, I'm really proud of you, by the way. Like, I'm glad. And I'm glad that I was able to help you in some way. As for the questions, I do have some. Chris asked for 4 questions. So question 1 is, when talking about life problems or coming out as about something to a friend or family, what should you do beforehand? If you do get a chance to talk to them, how would you start the conversation and how should it go? What happens if such a topic becomes a quote-unquote joke? Do you think dark humor is a healthy way to cope with hardships and life things? How do you keep yourself emotionally stable if you're going through hardships in your life? And the last question is, how do you keep yourself grounded when you're starting to stray away from the path that you're walking? So first of all, Chris, thank you seriously for these questions, and this is exactly kind of why I made this channel. And again, I'm really proud of you, but let's talk about the first questions. When talking about life problems or coming out about something to a friend or family, what should you do beforehand? If you do get a chance to talk to them, how should you start a conversation? How should it go? So this might sound a little bit weird, but the first question I would ask you is it worth it? Now, I know it's a little bit weird, but you have to understand the people that you are opening up to at times. It's a little weird because I know plenty of people sexuality is such a big thing because it's such an obvious thing to point at. It's a lot of people that came out to their family members that they're gay or or bisexual or whatever. The family doesn't like it, and a lot of people end up getting disowned or anything like that. So the first question I would ask you is, who are you opening up to, and is it worth it? And if it doesn't matter that you want to open up to them, if it's worth it or not, you just have to open up to them, then the next question I would ask you is, if there's going to be a negative impact that would come out of it, do you have a backup plan? So the reason I'm asking this is because I actually have a friend, more like my brother's friend, and the guy is he's a nice guy, great guy, but his family a little rough, kind of, like the Middle Eastern, Asian background, that kind of stuff, super strict and whatever. And he was gay. And he didn't come out to them only until he became a full out doctor. He finally got his finances set, and he basically became self-sustainable. So then he went to his parents and he said, "Hey, I'm not straight." And the parents immediately disowned him. It was painful, of course, emotionally. But I'm sure that it was also liberating for him to kind of get it off of his chest. But again, if he did it as a kid, imagine what kind of a situation you've been in. So I say the first question is who are you opening up to? And if there's going to be, and if it's somebody that you think is that's going to have a negative impact or like a backlash from that, saying that to them, then consider maybe you should do it at a better time when you're more self-sustainable, or you're like an adult and you don't have to depend on them, because it's rough, it's scary when you say something to somebody and then you can get such a really backlash. Emotionally though, it really depends up to you. I came out, like, I'll say this right now, I came out to my brother that I was, bisexual. Or pan, or one of those, I don't know, pick a flag, put a dart on it, I don't know. My sexual, I don't really, like, tie myself, like, to my sexuality, it's just, like, it's who I am, or kind of thing, but I came out to my brother, and my brother was very supportive. But my parents, they don't know. They don't even know that I live with a partner. They don't even know that I live with Fusha. They don't know that I'm in a relationship. They don't know anything. And of course, to give you background, is that I used to be part of a marriage, an arranged marriage specifically. And of course, like when your kid, comes out of a marriage and all of a sudden he's not straight, I'm sure that would be impactful. But for me personally, I'm kind of self-sustainable. I could open up to my parents, but I don't really want to, because I don't really talk to my parents much. Their opinion over my life doesn't really matter as much. And it doesn't, whatever they would say doesn't really matter to me. See, but that's coming out of a jaded aspect where, I didn't really have great parents, or, they're not, well, my dad's not bad, but whatever, right? But of course, to other people, they would have people that you love a lot, that you really care about. And of course, you would want to share these things with them. And when that happens, obviously, yeah, you would want to open up to them and say these things. So again, if I, in my position, I wouldn't do it because of my parents. But for you, different situation. Sorry about that. That was my phone. Next question is, what happens if such a topic becomes a joke? Do you think dark humor is a healthy way to cope with hardships and life things? So I actually reached out to a friend of mine to talk about this. So, because I'll be honest, I don't think I really went through terrible, like really dark, terrible things compared to many other people in life. So if you guys know my best friend Unga, his name is, or Tran, he actually went through quite a bit of stuff. So I feel, and in all honesty, he's a guy that kind of also like talks about dark humor a lot. And he did talk, I remember we had a conversation where he talked about like how it's like his coping mechanism. Now personally for me, I didn't get it, right? But for him, yeah. So I think the best thing to do is let me talk, like, I think you should listen to him instead for a second. So I actually called him. I told him, hey, can you make a recording for this? And this is what he gave me. So here, take a listen.
Hi everybody, I'm Unga, longtime friend of Circuit, possibly more or less of him bullying me, because, well, we've seen the videos. Anyway, he requested me for some reason to speak about dark humor. Not sure why. Probably because I have a few urns lying around that need cleaning. But I'll get to it. Yeah, here we go. So, for context, I've experienced some death in my life. Mom, cancer. Father-in-law, cancer. Cat, cancer. Grandparents, aneurysm, stroke, etc. Friend, car, as he was coming home from work. Friend again. Same. Okay. Anyway, loss of friends. Stupid reasons. I don't joke about the friends one as they're more serious and less relatable. don't quote me on that. Okay, I joke using Mother's Day, birthdays, but it doesn't sound great when I say it's not relatable, but you'll get what I mean. I joke using Mother's Day, birthdays, potential weddings. Whenever someone uses a your mom joke, and I just reply with, "Not mine, I guess." Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then they give me the awkward look, and they tell me like, "You're such a fucking asshole." Like, yeah, yeah, kind of, yeah, yeah. You know, my mom was funny too that way. So it's good to celebrate, good to reminisce. But I wouldn't say it's healthy to use dark humor in the way, but it's satisfying to a degree for selfish reasons. You know, make people laugh, make yourself laugh. Dark humor for me was a form of escapism to deny the feelings of negativity that surround the thoughts of addressing loss, while also being able to laugh awkwardly with my friends. And they would respect me otherwise and expect the joke while not making it go any further, right? So with the right group, you have social awareness. It's probably it. It's difficult to be humorous depending on which stage of grief you're at. Loss of life, loss of love, loss of something that is forever. It's more or less gone. My situation is different from others, and everybody goes through their own grief in their own way. Is it healthy for the individual short term? I think it's great. People don't feel uncomfortable and they still respect you, hopefully, as long as you express how much of an impact it is on yourself. But I'd say long term, no. I would definitely recommend anyone going through a very dark time in their life to seek help and address the issues directly to try to fast track your mental and emotional recovery. Otherwise, you're going to just start laughing at everything, and then your coping mechanism is laughing, and then people ask why you laugh so much, and yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I got through it pretty well. 10 years, and I can make jokes. Okay, you know what? I'm rambling on too much. This is taking too long. Take it away, please. Get me out of this. I want to stop.
Anyways, yeah. So that was Unga. As you can tell, he has like dark jokes and stuff like that. As it goes. But again, like I said, dark humor is a very good way of, in my opinion, it's a good way of coping, right? It's not exactly something that is bad or something that will hurt you or hurt anybody as long as everybody's comfortable with. So definitely to piggyback off what Unga was saying, the question is, you gotta ask yourself, are they comfortable or is anybody comfortable with, the dark humor or the dark jokes itself? That's the biggest thing. And if they're not, then definitely hold off. But if they are, then that's a way to output. That's a way to have an outlet. That's totally fine. But again, make sure that the people are comfortable. Ask them, be like, hey, I'm actually not okay with this. And if they say, oh, too bad, then yeah, definitely probably that's somebody you want to be around. But definitely voice your concern. Say that, hey, this is not something that I'm down for, and then they'll be like, oh shit, my bad, and then then you go from there. The next question says, how do you keep yourself emotionally stable if you're going through hardship in your life? And to be honest, that's a good question. How do I do it? I mean, I think it's a really good question because, I'll be honest, I'm a little bit of an arrogant asshole. Like, just straight up. I think I'm a very arrogant person when it comes to this kind of stuff, because my personal advice is when you're like in the gutter, like when shit's just rough. They say that when going gets tough, the tough get going. So my advice, maybe with like 3 pieces of advice, is one, make a system. Make a system that you really, really believe in. Like, for example, I think actually, you know what? It's better to give you an example. When I started Circuit, I basically was a very low point in my life. So pretty much for context to anybody, I was in an arranged marriage and it failed. That's, at that time it failed. It was gone. In the same week, I also lost my job from a layoff. So all of a sudden, I lost my job. I had a lot of debts. Still do, technically. Pretty much moving out of my house soon. And the person I lived with for a decade is now not going to live with me soon. She just leaves. It was weird. It was rough. Now, of course, I'm glad my brother was there, but there's a certain feeling when you're at, what's it called? You're in the basement of of a house that's not yours, in a place that's not yours. And you kind of just feel like you're at the rock bottom. And what I did is I simply just made a system. Circuit was my outlet in a lot of ways. I made sure that I said, I'm going to post things on Twitter. I'll try to do at least one every day. I'll try to do this. I'll go to the gym. And like, it helped a lot. And the thing is that the system is you have to then trust the system. That's your second advice is commit. Commit to the system that you have built up. You're going to have days where you're not going to want to be doing anything. Doesn't matter. That's like a point where you have to be like, I'm not a bitch. Don't pussy out. It's like that. But genuinely, you have to commit to it. You have to say, all right, I don't want to do this. I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to wake up. I don't even want to get out of bed. I don't want to do this. But when you have a system, you have to tell yourself, well, too bad. Too bad. Get your ass up and go. So to me, I still went to the gym almost every day. I still tried to post every day, even if it wasn't good. I kept that consistency and I kept going no matter what. And it was a system that I believed in. And number 3 is, if you're having trouble with that, figure out how to build good habits. So in my personal recommendation is, there's a book called Atomic Habits, and you probably heard that 100 times, but the book has I didn't finish it actually, but the book off the bat already tells you a very good way of developing good habits and breaking bad habits. And one of the things they say is that you have 4 points to make a good habit. It's like the cue, the craving, the reward. No, the cue, the craving, the action, and the reward. And all of those need to be like as easy as possible. So for example, the cue is what makes you reminded of that thing. The craving is what makes you want to do that thing. The action is how hard is it to do said task, and it needs to be as easy as possible. And then the reward is how nice did it feel to do said task. And you gotta fit all 4 of those. And if one of those break, you'll never make a habit. And if you have a bad habit, find a way to break out of it. Like if it's too easy to like smoke a cigarette, find a way to make it hard to smoke a cigarette. If it's too easy for you to always see a cigarette in front of you, or always to be stressed out, find a way to like make it not obvious or whatever. There's a lot of tips in that book that I highly recommend. And a little side tangent, if you are like in a mentally bad spot, work out. It doesn't have to be bodybuilding. Even take a walk. It really helps. Like there's plenty of studies where if you physically like are active, it helps a shit ton. Like it genuinely helps a lot. So basically the tip is make a system, commit to it, be bullheaded a little bit about it, and then also be a little bit physically active. And the last question is, how do you keep yourself grounded when you feel like you're straying away from the path that you're walking? So again, the system is definitely one of them. For most of my life, I've always been told to do something that I never wanted to do. I wanted to be a content creator for borderline 10 years, more. Ever since I was 16 years old, I've always wanted to be a content creator. I remember like making a Minecraft video when I was like a kid. Didn't even know what a video editing software was. I remember recording it on Fraps on a Lenovo laptop. It's like at the age of 14, I think. And I was hooked. I played like Minecraft Alpha for like 10 minutes. And then I tried to make a video out of it. I uploaded it somewhere and I don't even know where it went. But everybody always told me that you should do something else. My parents, my friends, like some people like, had a valid reason because they were worried about me. But some people just didn't believe in me. And on top of that, I was always forced to do things that I didn't want to do. Like be in a marriage. Do this, do that, go study this, go do that. And then every time I wanted to do something, they said, no, this is stupid. In that book as well, funny enough, but this is more of like my mentality, ask yourself who you are as a person. Now, when I say as a person, is I am Circuit, I am Fuchsia, I am this, I am... No, not like that. Circuit the who, not Circuit the robot, Lamau, but Circuit the content creator. Ask yourself who you are as a person. Who do you want to be as a person? It could be Circuit the writer, Circuit the director, Circuit the accountant, Circuit the janitor. Who knows? And then ask yourself, how do I be the best content creator? How do I be the best janitor? How do I be the best this? Figure that out. That's like the biggest thing in life is you need to find your calling card. You need to figure out what you love doing. Because when you ask yourself, hey, like for example, I'll give you an example is that I'm Circuit the content creator. Well, content creators make videos every day. That means that's a discipline that I should make a video a day. I'm over exaggerating right now. Probably not true, but whatever. Right? And then maybe you get lazy one day. Be like, is this what a content creator does? No. Content creators get off their ass and they work. Or you know, like a basketball player. A basketball player gets up and goes and practices like 3-point shots every day for like 20-30 minutes. I don't know how basketball players work, but let's say, for example, that is what basketball players do. You are a basketball player. Therefore, you should be doing that too. But you have to find out what you are as a person. And everybody tried to put me in every other box. I was not Circuit the software developer. I was not Circuit the, I don't know, the everything that they tried to, you know, like the husband of a person that I barely knew, or this or that, you know, like I wasn't. Hell, I'm not even Circuit the straight guy anymore. Or, you know, whatever, semantics. But I am Circuit the content creator. I accept that. I am happy to call myself that because I know that's who I am. And then I tell myself, what does a content creator do? He does these things. Now tell yourself, how are you going to get those things done? I think if you sit down and genuinely reflect what you really want to do in life, and like sit down and be seriously, like ask yourself, honestly, is this something you will commit to? Is this something you can see yourself in the future? Then commit to it. You want to be a musician? Then be a musician. But don't be lazy about it. Do what a musician does. And if you feel like you're straying away from the path that you're walking, always ask yourself the question, who am I? What does a person like me do? And then do that. Stick it, right? Make a plan. Stick to the plan. And when those things happen, you will start to notice a lot more structure, even though you're not really trying too much, because it's something that you just love doing. I hope that makes sense. But mentally, I hope this helps, because mentally a lot of people try to overcomplicate things. Try to simplify it. Who are you as a person? What does it take for you to be that person? And if you stray away from the path that you're walking, it's okay. It's okay to fuck up and slip up and whatever. Shit happens. Hell, I did it many times for 10 years. I'm 28 years old. Now I'm here. Almost turning 29 like 3 months, 4 months. I don't know. That's all right. Give yourself the forgiveness to know that it's okay when things go wrong. Just don't keep it that way. The last paragraph that Chris wrote is, other than that, I really love the versatility of you being extremely funny and kind, to being serious and giving life lessons. It just shows how human you really are. If it makes sense, please continue to make videos, streams, TikTok, etc. They're really fun to watch and listen to as it gets me through my day. But please do so at your own pace. Lol. Don't overwork yourself to the bone and feel pressure to post content every second. Take breaks if you need to. We'll always be here waiting. You're an extremely wonderful person, giving such good advice and wisdom to people while making people laugh and making them feel true to themselves despite having differences of what society labels them as. Hope you continue to grow and grow as a content creator. Thank you for everything and just thank you for being you. You're just an extremely awesome person that brings hope to this world. I hope we can get closer someday. Lol. I will definitely keep supporting you throughout your streams and such. Thank you again, seriously. Like one guy from Hawaii, Chris. Chris, thank you. I'm here because of you guys. And yes, I am trying my best to not overwork, but remember, I am always still a content creator. And I will do what content creators do to entertain and to try his best to make people happy. And I hope that whatever you find out as well on what you want to do in life and be there, you will become the thing that you manifest to be. Hope this helps. I hope this makes sense. Sometimes I feel like I'm going off on tangents, but thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys next week. Hopefully I can, hopefully next week. And yeah, take care of you guys. Make sure you take a nice long shit. You know, to de-stress a little bit. A little gift for yourself. Take care of yourselves, guys.